say, okay, can Dark hold his fourth here? Is he going to hang on to that, or is he going to get overwhelmed? And it's very easy to see the key points in the game, and you can actually see the skill of the players, because it's like there's one big objective. For the Terran is to stop that fourth, and for the Zerg it's to hold it. We have seen a big resurgence in Roach pushes and all-ins and even Night Display, but normally it's all about, if you want to play standard ZVT and standard TVZ, it's all about that fourth base. Cure, man.
I'm loving the Dragon Force, man. I played this on my stream the other day. Just huge shout out to Cure for some good music taste.
Yeah.
3-1 versus Zerg. Definitely a huge TVZ favorite here. Big Wizard in the booth. And kind of overshadowed by Maru on the team, as like he just doesn't gain that much attention because there's another gigantic Terran on his team. But this guy is a great player, and everyone should know that.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Now let's see if Dark can do his thing, or if Cure is going to bring it to a 2-0.
Up here in the top right, in the orange for SK Telecom T1, he is Dark.
And now in green, the proper color for this team. It's Cure.
They fixed it, man.
They fixed it. And, you know, I'm loving this map right now. It's just been such a great map for basically all eternity, for its entire lifetime. Bases are pretty well spaced out. There's options for third bases. Fourth base, also options as well. There's gold bases. Like, the amount of cool different choices you can make on what is actually a fairly small two-player map is great. I love two-player maps because there's just simply no randomness in scouting. And you know what your opponent's options are right from the start. And there are tricky things you can do. You can proxy. You know, you can pull a Terror or a Shine, or they like to take that gold base. I just love this map.
It's been a great map. It's served us well. I'm sure it'll be cycled out eventually, but it'll go down in history as one of the better maps. You know, it's not a Steps of War, that's for sure. Very curious to see what kind of builds these guys do going into the game. We already see a early pool here from Dark, a safe one. Not a very early pool, just a 14 pool.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, you know, like you were saying, it could be proxies. He could be trying to also shut down this kind of greedy turn play, as we do see here. It's going to be a CC first from Cure.
Yeah, we have seen, like, Sorry himself actually go for proxy Reapers a lot recently, and you know, that kind of thing can be scary too if you go for a really greedy hatch. You just kind of lose build order-wise. But in this game, it's actually a CC first, so obviously if he can, if he has the possibility to, he would definitely like to pressure a lot with that early pool. Otherwise, he's just going to simply be a little bit behind economically.
See how many lings he makes, how many commits to. It looks like it's just going to be a standard 4, kind of like mid-level. You know, sometimes usually 6, which is a little bit more aggressive, or 2 if you're trying to just go full economy. But you see that standard 4. He should be able to get over there and be an annoyance to that SCV, or at least, you know, cause some trouble over there.
Yeah, he certainly will cause some trouble because the Reaper's not going to be done. The CC, on the other hand, I think will finish just before they get there, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's free from damage, right? Because that SCV that's building this bunker here, in fact, it may take some damage and may go down. And the second SCV, if he just starts mining right away, is also a little bit vulnerable. So these 4 lings will certainly do some harassment, make some trouble, as mentioned. So it's going to be actually a Marine and not a Reaper coming out here, so you could do even more.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
No wall.
No wall. He's going to get in here. It's going to be 1 Marine. He, of course, does have to pull the SCVs here. Dark is going to back out, though. And looks like that other Zergling as well, just chasing an SCV out on the map. Maybe able to get this 1 SCV kill? No, not really microing his Zerglings. And looks like he should be able to get away.
Good crisis management here by Cure. But right now, Dark's got to be really frustrated. He didn't get much done. He has a very late hatch. Does have his early speed up pretty early here, too. And he's, like, so desperate to find something with these lings that he got early on.
Yeah. The next step here is, do we have that third CC coming down here? Do we see Cure get a bit greedy? Because we already see Dark leaving just one little drone in that gas. He's slowly building it up. And, that opens up the options of possible roach attacks. We've seen it before. It always shuts down these CC builds. I shouldn't say it always shuts them down, especially if the Terran is prepared. But we actually saw a nice hold with the 3 CCs yesterday. I think that was Byung for a while, but then he got knocked out of the game.
Yeah, that was a great game. Highly recommend that one. The thing is, like, this is just so popular right now, especially with mech. Started making a bit of a comeback for certain players, especially who are prone to mech. Byung, Sky High. We see these types of attacks a lot. And let's just wait and see what Dark's got planned here. He's making a few more drones. The Roach Horn is going up.
I think that's just for safety, though. I mean, he's taking his third base. He's trying to drone up here as much as possible. Just be careful. So far he only sees Cure on 2 base rather. He hasn't seen that third CC as far as I know. And that's just throw down the Roach Horn. You may use it a little bit later.
Yeah.
But mostly I think it's just for defense here. But let's see.
He did just make a ton of Overlords. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
6 is still possibly for safety. Let's see if he keeps making it every time he hits that 25 gas.
Well, he's also making a lot of lanes and trying to hide them here. He's trying to go for the surround on these Hellions. He's going to back this up with 2 Queens. He is going to kill one of those Hellions. But a nice lineup there on the Zerglings. He's going to cut down 6 of those Lings. And we just see more Hellions on the way. Like you were saying, this doesn't have to be a committal to like a full-on attack. You do see there are drones on the way now. Because if you get 6 Roaches, it just totally shuts down any harass. Like, there's no way those Hellions are going to get anything done. And we already see Cure going back to the base.
Yeah. When you get this small Roach force, it's just like, come at me, bro. I don't have a wall, but I've got Roaches out. And not only am I going to be able to defend with this, I can pressure a little bit. He's getting a bit ahead of himself, though.
Yeah, I was saying that they never get any damage done, but you're not fighting with all your Roaches, and you're fighting against a Banshee as well out in the middle of the map. You're not going to do too well. And honestly, this is just a bad engagement out of Dark. He's losing all of his Roaches for no reason.
Yeah, he killed 1 Hellion for like 6 Roaches. So that's certainly not what you want. And this actually opens up a lot of harassment potential with these Hellions. He needs to get that wall up. There it is. It's not completely tight, but luckily for him, the Hellions are going to hit this third, which is also, by the way, relatively undefended. There are some Queens. These Hellions are not full health, so going to have to be careful and take a pretty choice engagement here.
Well, the armory is done, and here we do have some Hellbats. All of these Hellbats with a Banshee up against just 3 Queens and a minimal ground force, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, no, not even close. That Spore Crawler is like not going to hit Hellbats, man. As long as the Banshee micros well, he's going to have a lot of problems here. Look at this drone's getting so red. You guys can't even see it, but Queens go down, and that itself is a big win. And those drones...
More and more drones going down. He's not even able to clean this up. He's taking so much damage right now. 2 Banshees right now.
And so many of these drones are so low, yeah.
All the Queens are dead. And these drones are just easy kills. He's totally shut down the third base. He's gotten 11 drones in damage. And actually, he can just like easily back off of this, take his third base, and be totally happy with that.
The thing is, he can actually, without any Queens being nearby, just like straight up keep fighting. And as long as he fights away from the Spore, all these Roaches and Queens that are away from the Spores, there's no detection for him. There is a lair, but he doesn't have any Overseers just yet. Cloak just finished.
Yeah, and he just now starts an Overseer. Looks like he did back off of those Banshees, though. May just, try to regroup, get a bit of repairing done, and go for a bit of a follow-up attack here with some bio. He's getting the +1 for both attack and armory. He's getting that combat shield, so yeah, looks like that's what we will see out of Cure.
Well, you see those 3 mules right there. They're like the name of the game, because if you look at the worker count right now, it's 70 SCVs to 61 drones. You never want to be down in drones as a Zerg player because of mules. Now, we do see those get dropped here. He still has total map control, total map prowess with 4 Banshees on the map. Nothing is going to move across the map without him knowing about it, and it's going to need an escort against this many Banshees.
Yeah. Cure just has total control of this game. One thing I will give to Dark, even with all of this harass that went down, he's got pretty decent creep spread here. It's already going out to that watchtower. He's even got that middle ground where the rocks are. The place where I would like to see a little bit more creep spread is over at that third. You know, just because one scam will clean up those 2 tumors and make it very hard for Dark to engage over there. And that may just be exactly where Cure comes from. We already see him cleaning up this creep here in the middle.
Yep. This attack is gnarly. Baneling speed isn't done. A few Marauders in the mix as well.
Combat Shield's about to finish as this hits.
This is just so perfect here. 2 Widow Mines to help out as well. It's like, get back or I will wreck you. Look at that extra Hellbat splash damage just doing so much for him here. And Dark just simply doesn't have enough units. He just simply doesn't have enough.
Well, let's see. He's going to focus down these Banshees. He's got a lot of Queens in the back, and maybe with some reinforcements, he will be able to push this back. But he's losing a ton of mining time. Look at those 2 Widow Mines over in that mineral line. But with the Spore Crawler, he will be able to clean those up. And that's not, you know, it's like he held off the attack, but another follow-up attack is on the way.
Exactly.
It's just doing way too much damage slowly over time.
It's so hard to, when you lose this many drones as he lost early on, and you commit to like roaches like that to get nothing done, it's so hard to balance your larva usage after that. You know, balance how many drones you have versus how many attack units. Baneling's, you know, got speed, but he didn't have a single Baneling. The 2 he was just about to finish right now died. And I think this is just simply put too much. 64 to 100 supply, 164 I should say. And there you have it. I mean, just Cure got ahead, didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, nice split there as well, even on the creep, not losing much to those Banelings. And that was pretty much Dark's last hope. Do see that parade push coming across the map. It's going to go down. GG.
GG and
Jin Air on the backs of Cure. We're going to take game number 2.
And as you were saying, you know, SKT, they would have liked to win those next 3 games to avoid an ace match if they want any chance of victory here, because of the way things are looking. Yeah. It's looking rough, because even though our next matchup is a ZVZ with Sue, Sue has been looking a little out of form recently. Not as strong as the Sue of old. And Symbol, on the other hand, is kind of on the opposite. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's on Sue's level yet, but he has been on the rise.
Yeah, he's definitely on the rise. Yeah, I don't know. This is a very hard position now for SK Telecom. I may have been speaking in hyperbole a bit when I was saying earlier on they have to win 3 games in a row, but now they have to win 2. I think they are favored in both of these matches. I think Sue will win, and I think Dream will beat SOS, at least in my predictions, you know, going over the games earlier on before really even started. But again, that ace match, we're now forced into it. Even if SK Telecom does win these 2, which may be a hard feat at that with the way Jin Air is playing today, they've got to win that ace match as well. And we still, you know, we haven't really seen an answer from Mara. I mean, Innovation may have been the best one, but let's see if they have a sniper. Let's see.
Yeah, keep in mind, you never, if you can help it, if you can avoid it, ever want your tournament life or your Pro League match life to be on the back of a Zerg versus Zerg, because the volatile matchup, there are a lot of build order wins.
We could see Sue play like super greedy and Symbol just shut this down. We could see a 3-0 from Jin Air. Like, exactly what you're saying is exactly correct. Like, we could just see this end right now. And if I were SKT, I'd be shivering in my boots.
Yeah, let me take a look at the map so I can remember it. For this one, it's going to be Expedition Lost, so a lot of builds possible. I think Sue would absolutely like to do a greedy build, but in this situation, can you do it 100%? Like, if that's what you were planning on doing, it's a tough decision to make. You might have to talk to your coach and be like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard decision. But guys, let's go into that 3-minute break right now. We'll be right back with more Pro League.